Hi, this is Lori and welcome to my channel. This is part 2 of my tarot collection. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and try to do 15 decks today, so I am going to go ahead and get right into it. The Hush Tarot. Popular deck. I've had it for over a year. I have used it a little bit. I really wanted this deck. I had it on my wish list, and when I was back in New England last year, I was in a shop in Mystic Seaport that had lots of different decks, and this is the one that called out to me. Comes with the guidebook. Here are the backs. I haven't used it too much this year. I really love the art of this deck. When I first purchased it, I had thought, I'm going to zoom in a little. It reminded me of kind of that time of year when summer is over and all the flowers are done and they're kind of just like dead on the stems and branches, and it's like a transition phase. For me, that's what time of year this felt like. And that's what drew me to this deck. But since I've had it, I have used it a few times, but I haven't worked with it the way I want to. Oh, I like this card. We have pheasants in my region. Oh, it's upside down. And it's pretty popular, so I'm thinking there's lots of flip throughs of this one. The Hush Tarot. Here we have the Morgan Greer Tarot. Mine is in a tin. I do have the full size that comes in a tuck box by US Games, and this is the one that I'm really attached to this one. I used to carry it around in my purse, and I still do. I wanted to show the back. I got this one. Okay, here's the story. Like I said, I carried it in my bag for the longest time. It was kind of like my carry to work deck. I spilled tea in my bag. It went all over the place. It got all over the cards. I don't think it happened to be in the tin at the time, which probably it should have been, because then the deck wouldn't have gotten like this. But I feel like it just kind of defined its character a little bit more. So it's even more precious to me since some of the cards are actually tea stained. I actually edged it after that event, of course. I love the backs. Some of the cards kind of like have, I'm going to zoom in, like some warping, but it doesn't really affect my readings at all. But I love this deck. I hear mostly really good things about it. Lots of flip throughs, but the colors are very vibrant. It's really lovely to shuffle. It's a small size, so you know, it's not so hard, you know, to maneuver in your hands, especially if hands are smaller. I love this Queen of Swords. I'm sure a lot of people do. So I've had this one, gosh, for a little while. So yeah, very popular. Sorry, these are all upside down. The queens are just so pretty in this deck. There's no borders, you know, that's always another thing that I hear as a positive aspect of this deck for a lot of folks. The Morgan Greer in a tin. Here is the Gentle Thrills Tarot. I found this one secondhand. I like to go on Pango Books. It's a resale website for books mostly, but you can find tarot and oracle on there. And I saw this one for a really good price, and I think I was just drawn to the bright colors. It's by Hay House. It's kind of hard to take out of the box. Here's the backs, which are really pretty. I haven't used it. I like the bright colors. I like the art. I think it's still in order. Yeah. I put it in order when I first got it. So for me, like, the thing is, when I buy a deck secondhand, I have run into an instance where not all the cards were present. And so that's like the first thing I do when I get a deck. I immediately make sure every card is there. I don't know. I feel like if there's a card missing, it just doesn't have that same... I don't know. Magic? The cardstock is nice on this. You know, it's somewhat gloss, you know, not super high gloss. Like I said, I haven't had my moment with it. So if you're into really bright colors and kind of vibrant vibes, this might be something that would appeal. There are some kind of like really generic pips, which I didn't know because the person who was selling this on Pango didn't post the cards, didn't, because you can like put pictures But I honestly don't think they even used it. It's like pretty much brand new. And there's the coins. I mean, it is lovely, you know. The pips aren't so bad, but I did notice that. So yeah, so Gentle Thrills. Oh, and it's Isa Beniston, if I didn't mention that, because I said Hay House. Here is the Trionfi Della Luna. This is the Paradoxical Rose, illustrated pips by Deviant Moon, Patrick Valenzuela, very popular. I bought this deck from his website, his Deviant Moon website. There's various versions of the illustrated pips. I really liked the colors of this Paradoxical Rose. Here, I'm going to turn them over. His decks, they come with like a little green card for you to download the, it's like a PDF of his guidebook, which I haven't done. I mean, maybe someday I will, but I'm okay without it. So it's amazing how the color can just change the whole mood of the deck. I am a big fan of pinks and like rose tones. So this one appealed to me. And incidentally, I have another version of this deck in different colors. But I really liked this one. I kind of went crazy on the website. I haven't bought anything this year, but maybe it was 1 or 2 years ago. I think that's when I got this deck. I've had it for maybe almost 2 years now. And the website, there's like a scratch and dented section, if that's the term to call it. And the decks, they're pretty much in proper quality condition, but the box is damaged, so they're discounted. And I didn't mind that so much because I tend to put my cards in a bag when I'm carrying them around. So I kind of got a few of them at a better price, which I thought was really nice of the company. Yeah, so this is the Trionfi Della Luna Paradoxical Rose, Patrick Valenzuela. Okay, in here is my Bonefire tarot deck. This is like my deck. This is where it all began for me. Oh, my little Moonlit Fae bag. Love 'em, love 'em. When she has a sale, I stock up. Gonna zoom in. I love this deck. This is, here's the backs, by Gabi, Angus-West. There's a newer edition out now that's not quite so glossy, and these are almost square shaped, so they're harder to shuffle, at least for me. I love it. Oh my gosh, this is what this was calling to me when I first found tarot. And I saw this deck on Ethany's channel. She's got like a tarot school, and she's, you know, got a website, and she's on Instagram and, you know, all the media platforms. But I found her on YouTube, and it was when I first was getting started years ago, and she had gone through like beginner decks, and she showed this one along with some others, but this one was it. And Gabi Angus-West, she kind of like in her guidebook said that like the art style kind of wanted to be reflective of like kind of tattoo art, if I'm not mistaken. And she's got like this really extensive guidebook. The box it came in, it's like in this big brown box, and it comes like, again, you know, with a really good in-depth guidebook on each card, and you know what it means to her. And every time I pull a card, I feel like I see something new every single time. I could just go on. But yeah, this is essentially my very first tarot deck, and what I kind of learned on. There's one other one. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice all of a sudden. So, again, lots of bright colors, lots of busyness. I think I'm a busy person though, you know, I notice that about myself. Oh, did I put some of them in order? I haven't used it in a few months. Yeah, but sometimes I'll just grab my like I'll grab this and I'll just throw it in a bag if I'm going somewhere. I love the sun card. Anyway, yeah, this is the Bonefire Tarot. Gabi Angus-West. The copy I have is Schiffer Publishing, which I don't even think is around anymore, but it is still around. It looks a little different, and you can get it. And it's smaller because I've seen it, so probably easier to shuffle. Here is the Witchling Academy. This one is by Pamela, Chen, and illustrated by Mindy, Zhang. I have the little guidebook here, all my little tabs. I love this one. It's very Hogwarts inspired is kind of the vibe I get from this one. I etched mine with lots of colors. Yeah, it's easy to tell that I love colors. So this is kind of a deck that talks about Charlie. She's the character with the pink hair. And it's her journey going through her Witchling Academy and the experiences she's having. So the Fool starts off with her going off to school, and then it moves on to all the experiences she has. And it's really quite sweet. You know, it's a, you know, almost like anime inspired. And I didn't really think that I would like something like this when I saw it. And I saw it on somebody's channel. In fact, I think I saw it on Krista Chronicles, if I can remember correctly, several years ago. And I found it. And it comes like in a little box that kind of looks like a book. And at first I didn't use it. I just kind of just like sift through the cards, but then I spent some time with it, and I really like this deck a lot. Her little familiar is a parakeet. His name is Georgie. It's a pretty card. So I think this is a deck, I'll keep. But I mean, I don't know if I'll ever outgrow it, but it really resonates with me. Yeah, so the Witchling Academy. Shuffle's good too. Here we have the Meraki Tarot in another special Moonlit Fae bag. This is another one of my my used decks. There was a time when this was like the deck I only used, but I don't know, this year I haven't, decks that I normally used all the time, I haven't. I have this in ribbon. Those are the backs. So with, it's by Bouchette Designs. Her cards, her deck, it comes like with, and I'll just take it out of the ribbon. They're reference cards. And there is a guidebook that, you can get that goes really deep into the meaning of the cards and how the artist and creator interpreted them. Carrie Snook is the creator. I'm a big fan of hers. I have a few of her decks. And she has a website. It's Bouchette Designs. It might be on one of these cards, actually. I'm not sure. But I really like her stuff. But I don't want to get these cards kind of mixed in when I'm mixing them. So I tend to just keep them in that little ribbon. Oh, the sun angle moved. Let me see if I can kind of fix that. Try to move the sun a little. Hope it doesn't glare quite so much. But this is a very nature-inspired deck. And I backed this one on Kickstarter. I really love the art. Everything is just so whimsical. Another thing about me, I'm a very whimsical gal. I was born that way. I don't think I'll ever change. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes, though, I probably need to be a little more rooted in my personal opinion. So yes, it's a rose petal finish, which makes it a little hard to shuffle. if I'm gonna be honest. I'm not always a big fan of the rose petal finish, and I know I've heard other channels mention like fanning powder, and the use of that is beneficial. I haven't tried that yet. I have riffle shuffled this one, but a lot of times, since the deck is like so thick, I often, like you can see, it's kind of even like damaged a little bit from my riffle shuffling. I'll like hand over hand, but yeah, the rose petal finish kind of hinders things. That sun is kind of casting a bit of a glare. See, it's kind of hard to go through the cards, but yeah, so, oh, and there's extra cards in the deck. This one is expansive, and then obscurity is another one that's in there, because I've gotten that one in readings. And there's a few other ones in there. Oh, I love this hermit card. This is one of my favorites. I know I'm going over like 3 minutes with each deck. I really need to speed it up here. So yes, this is the Meraki Tarot by Bouchette Designs. Here we have the Mini Cat Tarot. This is such a cute deck by Rachelle. I purchased this on her Etsy shop. She's out of the United Kingdom. I love her art style. I love cats. So this one was like a perfect pairing for me. Yeah, here's her little card that she put in there. And then here's the adorable guidebook that comes with it. I'll just it's just really sweet. And it's just, yeah, it's just a sweet little deck. When I first got it, I used it. I'm gonna do a comparison with like one of my standard size Paradoxical rose cards and the size of this. So it's essentially a square deck, but it's just so darn sweet. This was one of my first independent deck purchases. One of the first, not the very first. When I first started, most of mine were mass market. Like I said, my Bonefire Tarot was my all-time favorite. But now, you know, with things the way they are, and tariffs, yeah. Tariffs in the United States, it's harder to get things. They're more money. But I know other countries have, you know, been paying tariffs for ages, you know, so I guess we kind of just come into reality with the rest of the world with paying VAT taxes and that sort. But I'm not as keen to buy things overseas anymore because it's a lot more expensive. So I'm so glad to have acquired what I do have, you know, before this new way of life has started this year. But the art is just so sweet, and I really like it. Me personally, you know, I love cats, so if you're a cat fan, boy, I keep rotating, don't I? They're all messed up. Maybe if I just do this. Yeah. So the mini cat tarot. It does give really good readings. Like, I know it's fun, but it'll give you a good one, you know? Or me. Gave me some good readings. Mini Cat Tarot. Here is the Tarot of Curious Creatures by Chris Ann. Well, I won't say I haven't used it, because I have. Last year, around this time, so I've had this deck for a year, there was like a big Black Friday sale on the Hay House website, and full transparency, on YouTube, everyone was just like raving how this deck was like the deck, and it just gives such great readings, and it's so much fun, and all the good things. And so I was influenced. Yeah. I was like, all right, is this really everything that everyone is just saying is so amazing? Good cardstock. Kind of like a matte. And so I used it at the beginning of this year for some time. And I'm still, I don't know. I'm not always pulled to want to use this one. I think I have to be in a certain mood for it. It's an animal deck, obviously. Am I saying this word properly? Anthropomorphic creatures, animals. I like that one. You know, in these cute outfits. I don't know. Now that I have it, I'm not sure this is me. I'm not sure if this is me. And there's a lot of walkthroughs of this, but yeah. Curious Creatures Tarot. Here we have the Anima Mundi Tarot. Megan Wyreweden. I found this one on Etsy. There's actually, she has her shop on Etsy, and there's other really neat things that she has on there. She has like journals and like stickers and stuff like that. And I don't know what it was that really drew me to this deck. Here's the gold gilding. Those are the backs. I actually saw a copy of this, a used copy. I think it's still in order, which makes it nice. And I should have got it then. I actually, so again, Last year, at this time, I kind of went like on a tarot spree and purchased like decks. Oh my gosh, I don't know. I think we all kind of go through these like tarot sprees. I've heard other channels say this, where you go through like a phase where you just feel like you're collecting and collecting, like, oh, I gotta get that one. Oh, that's a great Kickstarter. Oh my gosh, I bond with that. Whoa, whoa. And I felt like I was just like on this frenzy last year. Has that happened to anyone? Maybe it's just me. But I'm being my authentic self, and you know, I'm not perfect. I'll be the first to admit it. And so this deck, it wasn't in stock on her website, the Etsy one, but I found it on another website, Pantera Studios. They were having a sale like during the holiday season, and so they had this one on sale, and it was a good deal, and I was so happy, and so I got it. Oops, sorry. Kind of have a unique setup here for how my camera is holding up. So those are the coins or the pentacles. Let me kind of show the other suits just to, here's the swords. Wow. It's like a, it's a matte card stock. It's good quality. I'm not sure how long it'll hold the gilding. Sometimes the gilding holds well, and other times it's just a big old mess. So I have like love-hate thoughts on the gilding. Sometimes it really messes up. Wow, that's lovely. I haven't worked with this one very much, so it's really nice to kind of do these videos, because it's like I've had this deck for a year now, and I haven't, I liked this card when I saw the deck, like, you know, online and stuff. But as I was saying, it just gets me to like get these out and like, hey, you know, you gotta use them. Otherwise they're not, you know, they're not being used. And stuff has to be used. That's my thought anyway. Wow, spent 5 minutes on this one. Anima Mundi, little white book. Yeah. Okay. I'm using this deck right now, so that's why it's in this cute little bag. But I have to give this deck its due in displaying the box it came in. I found this from watching Mystic MZ's channel, the Lucky Nugget Tarot. She showcased this deck sometime this year, 2025, and oh my gosh, instant click, instant take my money. Found this adorable deck on the website. It's I found it through, I looked up her Instagram, the Lazy Mystic, I believe. It comes in this little box that it's like a takeout box, and they're these little kitty nuggets. And you know, like I mentioned, I'm a kitty fan, and she just sent all these adorable little gifts with it, and a really sweet note. She is from South Dakota, which is really near my neck of the woods. Here's the box. It's a cute tuck box. Sorry, it's kind of hard to come out. But the colors, I love the colors, the pinks and the orange, yellow, red hues. Totally I just really liked it. And I'm trying to get these stickers out so I can show. I just hope this video isn't going to be super long. Thanks for bearing with me. But I got this year. I want to say it was early spring when I got this. And I've been carrying this around with me. But like I said, oh, and it's got this holographic gilding, which is holding up okay, but see, it's kind of starting to chip a little, which I'm sad about. Guidebook. Colored. And then I also bought the extra little cards, which I have shuffled in the deck right now. Sometimes I take them out. It's a lovely cardstock. It almost has a texture to it, like you can hear it when they rub against each other. I'm still breaking in the shuffle. It is kind of hard to shuffle, but it's getting easier. So they're these little kitten nuggets, and they're kind of mischievous little guys. And they, you know, they kind of seem like your typical little cat that gets into things. But it's really a sweet deck, and it puts like fun into the messages, like the swords are French fries. I mean, come on, right? Here's all the little sauces, you know. I mean, it's fun. And I could not resist it, and I have been using it. The borders are different colors for the suits. Thought I'd point that out. And I know it's almost 5 minutes and I'm just on the one deck. Here's one of the extra cards. But it is so much fun, and it's been giving me some really good readings. And I've been using this one. You know, like I said, this is the one I've kind of been spending some time with just to see if it works for me. And then the wands are like those little like toothpicks, you know, the kind that have like those little like frillies at the end. Here, I'm going to try to find it. The coins. So it's like a toothpick with those little like designs at the end of it. And then, you know, of course, the cups are the little catch-ups and stuff. So anyway, I'm spending way too long on this deck, but I think it's just because I'm using it and it's so much fun and I love it. And the creator is from my neck of the woods, so I guess I have an affinity to her. And then I'm so glad I found her. Thanks, Mystic MZ, for making me aware of this deck, because I absolutely love it. So yes, that is the Lucky Nugget Tarot. The Green Witch Tarot. Anne Moura, Kiri, Østergaard, Leonard. Found this deck secondhand. Pango Books, my favorite place. Really, really good price. You know, you can find some like good secondhand. Comes in this big box. I believe this is a Llewellyn deck. Why did I buy this deck? Why was I immediately drawn to it? The backs. Yep. Don't care. Don't care if that's shallow. I didn't care. But now that I have it, it's a lovely deck. The suits are a little bit different. So like it's chalices, athames, of course pentacles, and then some of the stones, some of the court card, gosh, I can't talk, like the major arcanas are a little different, but I still get the meaning, like it's the wild hunt. So it's focused again, it's focused on the, you know, pagan culture. But it's absolutely lovely, and it's one that, you know, I use. It doesn't matter what season it is. Lots of lovely flip throughs of this one. Good cardstock, and I mean, when I got it, like it's still in rather lovely condition. A bit of a glossy cardstock. Standard size cards. So very easy to shuffle, and since mine is broken in, it's lovely to shuffle. And then the guidebook is very nice, you know, just like all Llewellyn guidebooks. I like them. I really do. Some people don't quite use them, but I always like to know what the artist has to say and the writer. It gives a lot of insight to how I perceive it. You know, to each our own, right? We all have our own practice and how we do things. We're not all meant to be the same. I think that's what I love so much about, you know, this kind of magical witch lifestyle that, you know, a lot of us embrace, is that, you know, there's not like a set of rules, like, oh, you have to do it this way, or, oh, you have to use it this way, or, oh, that's the meaning. Sorry, I'm going to get off my soapbox, but I think that's the lovely thing about how we all implement our cards. Well, it's going to be different for all of us. And no one way is better than the other. And I love that. So this is the Green Witch Tarot. And again, I think the backs are so beautiful, as well as the deck. It's just gorgeous. And I love the energy of it. Okay, here we have the Tarot of Paul's Moon. This is a Kickstarter I backed by Libra. Moon. Really love this company so much. I already took the cards out of the box, but it came in this beautiful, beautiful box. Did I mention it was a Kickstarter? This is a newer deck to me. I've looked through it, but I know I say this a lot, but I haven't deeply worked in it like I've wanted to. They have such lovely quality of cards. It's glossy. You can see there's a bit of gold foiling. Here are the backs. I have I have a few decks by this company. It is fun for me to sometimes I'll just take the deck out and look through the cards. And certain ones will resonate more than others for me. An extra card. So the Tarot of Paul's Moon. All right, this is my everyday witch card deck. Love it. It's a Llewellyn deck, very, very popular. I've had this one for quite a few years. It was a birthday present to myself from my local crystal shop. I still remember going and picking it out with my birthday money. And I had seen it. I think I saw this one on Ethany's channel. And I wasn't sure if it really was going to be for me. But when I started working with it, it hit all the right points. And yes, you know, it has the black hats and the stockings with stripes and black cats, and some people might not really be into that. And broomsticks, and you know, all the stereotypical things. But for me, it just gave some really beautiful messages. And it does it in a way that it's empowering to me, like this Tower card. It just has a way of telling me messages where it's like, okay, you know, get yourself up off the ground and dust yourself off and go again. So it's a forever deck for me. It's another one that sometimes I'll just throw it in my bag when I'm traveling, you know, if I don't have any time and I just need to take something. This is one of mine go-tos. Comes with a really nice guidebook, and of course it's a Llewellyn, so it comes in one of those very lovely boxes. Lots of lovely flip throughs on this one. So yeah, the Everyday Witch. All right, we made it. This is the last deck I'm going to show, the Kawaii Tarot. Illustrations by Lulu Mayo. So I had seen a little like color book, and I was like, there's a tarot deck. And long story short, I found it. I think I found it on Amazon. And it's really sweet. I have a lot of sweet decks. Like I said, I'm a whimsical gal. And that's just me, you know. I tend to use this deck during the winter time. It gives me Nutcracker vibes. I think that's why I feel like it's a winter deck for me. But I mean, really, you can use it any time of the year, but that's just where it tends to vibe for me. It's the end of the year. It's a time to be grateful for the blessings of the year, the gifts you're giving, the family that I'm getting together with, all the yummy treats and foods and celebrations. That's what this reminds me of. In my mind, all the little animals, it's like this place. You know how I mentioned like Nutcracker, so like the sugar plum fairy, and if you've seen the play, the ballet, Clara, she goes to the land of the sugar plum fairy where the Nutcracker is, and she meets all these magical people and beings, and that's kind of where I feel like this place is. But then you wake up and you're back in reality. But while you're there, you have friends and they'll tell you some messages. I think I put this one in order. Yeah, I just recently pulled this one out. It's a sweet deck, which I know I've already said that, but yeah, it's a fun one. You know, for those who are into like this kind of thing, you know, might be kind of childish for some, but it's right up my alley. So that was 15 decks shown today. And yeah, so the last part one I showed 10. So this is 35 decks I have so far. Oh my gosh. It's been really fun. If you're still here, thanks for sticking it out with me. I love doing this. It's just kind of fun to go through and kind of like ramble about the things I've acquired, you know, since starting this. And they're kind of just, I have them on a shelf right now, and I'm kind of just trying to see what I use, what I don't. Maybe thin out a few. Some of them I can tell, you know, maybe I'm not really vibing with this, so I might pass some of them along. So, yeah, plan to do part 3 real soon, and thanks again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, and I hope to see you soon. Take care of yourself. It's the holiday season. Stay healthy, stay well. Take care till next time. Bye.